This is the 4-step system that I use every single year to make my vision board actually happen. I'm Nadia, and this is She Builds Again, a space for women who are ready to rise, rebuild, and rewrite their story through radical self-love. So before we start this episode, I want to talk about the difference between a vision and a wish. A wish is a desire that you have in your heart, something that you really want to make happen. Whereas a vision is something that you've gone that one step further to envision, to use your imagination, to decide and to see exactly how that future thing is going to look and feel. And so it's about getting really clear on all the small details, using your 5 senses, deciding how it's going to smell, taste, look, touch, all of it. And so using your senses to bring that vision to life. It's a really exciting thing because the reality is that our minds don't know the difference between a vision and us actually experiencing that thing, because we can still feel the same excitement, the same emotions, just by envisioning something. So I'm going to walk you through the steps that I take, the 4C vision board method. The first step is clarify. You have to get clear on what you truly desire. Before you ever open Pinterest or Canva, you have to get honest about what the next 12 months are really about for you. You don't need 25 goals, you just need 5 or 8 aligned intentions that move your life forward with purpose. And so I want you to ask these 3 questions. What do I want to step into this year? How do I want to feel? And what version of me am I becoming? And so this step is all about clarity before we get into the fun, creative elements of your vision board. And so the next step is about collecting. This is where you're starting to do the research, you're gathering the visuals that really speak to your soul, and you're just starting your research. You get to scroll through Pinterest, you get to explore Canva, you get to collect images that really reflect, number 1, what you want, number 2, who you're becoming, number 3, how you want to feel daily, and also number 4, the energy that you're trying to call in. I want you to use keywords that are tied to emotions and aesthetics and your dream. So this is the step where you let your heart lead the way. I'll be honest, I actually have a Pinterest board already set up that has these elements of my dream life, the type of decor that I want in my home, the type of activities I want, the type of clothes that I want to wear. It's so many small details that help to piece together the woman that you're becoming. And I always say this, that obviously the inside, the internal things are just as important, but every single one of those external things represents a value. And so those bright clothes might represent your confidence, those awesome dinners that you want to host and beautiful meals that you want to cook probably represent community. And so think about those keywords as you're going through this section of research, because it's all going to pull together in the end based on who you are right now, the values that you have, but also the steps that you're taking to step into the life that you truly want, the life that you truly desire. And so the third step is create. This is where you get to design a board that excites and expands every part of you. You get to place all of the images with intention on this board and make sure that every single photo represents not just a goal, but a feeling that you want that goal to bring into your life, whether it's excitement or expansion or softness, abundance, peace, passion, whatever it is. The reality is you're not just assembling this collage, you are literally creating a visual frequency that activates something in you every single time you see it. When I look back at one of the vision boards that I did about 4 years ago, it was filled with these amazing images of coffee that I wanted to sip at cafes and a villa that I wanted to live in and how I wanted to have rest in my life. There was this picture that I found of a woman who was lounging by a pool. And so all of those things actually became my reality after I made the move to Southeast Asia. And so when I look back, I realized that I was calling all of those things into my life because I was starting to envision how they would feel, how I would show up, how my body would look and feel. So I want you to do this activity with just as much intention as I did when I did that one 4 years ago, because it definitely works whatever happens with our brains when we actually see this image every single day, we are calling these things into our lives. The last thing I do with every vision board is a step I like to call charge. I like to infuse it with meaning, whether it's a mantra or a message. Once you have this beautifully designed board that feels aligned and grounded and just so authentic to who you want to become, you get to add this finishing touch, a quote, a word of the year, a mantra, something that anchors everything together. And this is really the activation step where you give the board its intention. Words like surrender or rise or become or radiance or rebuild even, these can start to create instant emotional energy. My favorite thing to do is actually to put a quote on there, and it's something that I like to use that challenges my mindset. If I'm stuck in a particular area, maybe I'm in a constant cycle where my mindset keeps living in lack and I keep feeling like there's not enough and there's never enough and the money doesn't stretch and all of these stories that we can tell ourselves about money or finances. And then I choose a quote about abundance. I choose a quote that really does mean something to me because it gets me to think in a different way. So when I'm creating this beautiful board, I also get to see in the middle this quote that challenges me, it challenges my thinking, and it challenges me in believing that more is possible for my life. Okay, so I'm gonna show you here the final product, which is a vision board for 2026 with all the things that I am working toward that I want to create in my life for this year. I'll walk through really quickly what the images are. The one over here, this image is really to challenge myself with being more social. I am for sure an introvert, and I've noticed that it's become a habit of mine to sit by myself in gatherings and parties. Even though I have lovely friends, I just don't make the effort. I just don't challenge myself to speak to people and to overcome that anxiety. So I'm going to for sure make sure that I have a challenge every time I go out next year in 2026 to speak to at least 3 people, to connect with at least 3 people. Moving over, this is Pilates. I am gonna keep going with Pilates. I loved it this year. It was one of the highlights of my year. So I just wanna keep challenging myself and getting stronger and feeling good about my body and in my skin. Over here is about YouTube and content creation. I really, really want this year to just be about me telling my story, sharing my story, connecting with people through YouTube, and that's really going to be my primary platform, although I do want to get onto other platforms as well in 2026. Moving over, this pottery picture is about something a little bit bigger than just pottery. I really want to connect with my son more this year, and he actually saw that I had made my own cup with a friend of mine. We went to a pottery class and he asked me if I could take him. And so I really want to do that this year, but to have just these one-on-one dates with him so that we can just do fun things together and connect. And here is birthday cake because it is my husband's 40th birthday in June and my 40th birthday in December. And so I really want us to prioritize doing something really fun, really, really special with the people that we love. Over here, you see this picture of someone getting a micro needling treatment, and that's definitely on my list. I have had really kind of stressful acne come up over the last couple of months, maybe even the whole year. I think my hormones are just in a really weird place because I'm still breastfeeding and all of that. And so I am planning on stopping breastfeeding this year in 2026, and I just want to really invest in my skin so that I can feel better about myself and feel like I can bring my best self to wherever I go. Over here, this picture of the cityscape is actually in Seoul, Korea, and that is where I want to go this year. I would love to go for my 40th birthday. I just want to make that a priority for 2026. And then to the left is this picture of a woman working at a laptop holding money, and that's exactly what I want my year to be about. I want it to be about growth, financial growth, and just making money doing something that's creative, but also something that's of value and meaningful. And so I have lots of things that I want to due to make money, but there's one project in particular that I'm really hoping God will open the opportunity and the door for me to do more of in 2026. And so after going through all the quotes in my Pinterest board, I saw this one and I really wanted this affirmation to be something that challenges me this year. Money is constantly entering my bank account. I can for sure start to feel really limited when it comes to money, and I want to just trust, and I want to see lots of growth. I want to make lots of impact, and I want to have lots of fun doing it. And so this is my vision board for 2026. And I left this little, you got this quote at the top just because I felt like I needed a little pep talk. And so I liked it from the previous one, and so I've kept it in, and I'm excited to see how this is all gonna come together. This is the desktop view. So I will save this and put it as my desktop for my laptop, my computer, but then I can also recreate it with Canva just by resizing it and then moving things around so that I have one for my phone as well. So before we close out this episode, I just want to tell you that your dream life is not waiting for luck, it's actually waiting for your intention. So I really hope that you will like this episode, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye for now.